New Icy Hot. Nighttime recovery. Relieves pain at nighttime while your body recovers. Icy Hot. You're so back.
Hey, this is Bill Simmons from the Bill Simmons Podcast, here to tell you that Michelob Ultra, the official beer partner of the NBA, is bringing NBA fans closer than ever this season with chances to win great prizes, including courtside tickets. Enter now at michelobultra.com/courtside. Michelob Ultra Courtside 25 to 26. No purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents 21 plus. Begins on October 1st, 2025 and ends on June 30th, 2026. Multiple entry periods. See official rules at michelobultra.com/courtside for free entry deadlines, prizes, and details.
1, 2, 3, 4. Monster movie.
Fun time, go! Monster movie.
Fun time, go. Monster
Movie.
Fun time.
Go!
Monster movie. Fun time, go.
With Precious D and Honeybee.
Fun time, go!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and neighbors, welcome to Monster Movie Fun Time Go. 31 Days of Horror. Mars Needs Movies. This season we are looking at movies about alien invasions, incursions, infiltrations, and visitations. And today my guest is once again my brother Pretentious D. And the movie is Devil Girl from Mars. Welcome back to the show, Delano.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
It's from 1954. It's British, which means it's in English. It's in black and white, 77 minutes. I have no budget and no box office. Here's a brief summary. We're not going to do the entire plot point by point, but a female alien is sent from Mars to acquire human males to replace their declining male population. So it's Mars Needs Men.
Yes, actually predating Mars Needs Women
Yeah.
by several decade or so.
Yeah, when negotiation, then intimidation fails, she must use force to obtain cooperation from a remote Scottish village where she has landed her crippled flying saucer. There seem to be a lot of Americans in this British production.
Yes.
Set in Scotland.
Yes. Do you want to do the cast? Because I have a lot
Yeah.
to say about this movie, actually.
Yeah,
I found.
Okay. Let's see. Patricia LaFawn as Naya, the Devil Girl from Mars. Hugh McDermott as Michael Carter. Hazel Court as Ellen Prestwick. Peter Reynolds as Robert Justin / Albert Simpson. Adrienne Corey as Doris. Joseph Tomelty as Professor Arnold Hennessy. John Laurie as Mr. Jameson. Sophie Stewart as Mrs. Jameson. Anthony Richmond as Tommy. James Edmund as David, and Stuart Hibbard as newsreader, and that's just his voice coming over the radio.
Right. Newsreader of exposition related news bulletins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, according to Wikipedia here, the film inspired Hugo and Nebula Award-winning author Octavia E. Butler to begin writing science fiction.
Oh, nice.
After she watched it at age 12. Oh, after watching it at age 12, she declared that she could write something better.
Better than this. Yeah.
Okay, so
which kind of leads into my first point.
that kind of inspiration.
Which is, this is not a good movie. This is a bad movie. However,
I like it.
as
I
I
thought it was
made
fun.
As I commented before, there are sort of two types of bad movies, as I was mentioning. Mars Needs Women is an inherently bad movie that nothing could redeem. It is bad from start to finish. I think this movie falls into the second category of a bad movie or a not quite good movie that had potential to be a good movie, but just failed on some
I
areas.
disagree that it's a bad
Oh,
movie
really?
to be.
Okay.
I think everybody gives a fine performance.
True.
I think the special effects are perfectly serviceable. And that outfit is fierce.
The outfit is fierce. That is one of the things I have on my good list. For those who have not yet seen the movie, Naya, is that the character?
Yeah.
She is wearing a dress of PVC, black PVC. And again, in 1954, PVC as a fashion material, I looked it up, didn't really start to hit until the 1960s. So she's a bit fashion forward. And I kind of got a feeling that this movie might have been a partial inspiration for Vampire Planet.
Okay.
Have you seen that?
I don't think so. I've heard of it.
It's an Italian film that's also not a great film, but is cited as being one of the inspirations for Alien, actually, in that explorers land on an alien planet and find monsters there. But a lot of the design elements of Vampire Planet are similar to what becomes Alien. And I think the whole PVC thing was possibly an inspiration for Vampire Planet as well. So if we're talking about the design of her, this brings me to one of my other points. So in the film, we're kind of skipping ahead the plot here.
Yeah.
But our little, what do we call him? Pablocito? Panchito, yes. The little boy character, when he sees the woman in all her black PVC finery, says to her...
He has a sexual awakening?
Well, he may very well, but he says, "You're like the black spider. Dan is always having trouble with her." Although I listened to it many times, and he either says Dan or Dandy. The subtitles say Dan, but it sounds to me like he says Dandy. So he's clearly referencing some other bit of culture. And here's where I went down a rabbit hole and failed. My Google Foo skills failed me. I ended up in an oubliette in this rabbit hole, in that he says Dan was always having trouble with Black Spider, trouble with her. So I Googled Black Spider, I Googled Dan or Dandy. I thought initially, and this might still be the case, there was a British comic book character named Desperate Dan, who's mentioned in the Kinks song, The Village Green Appreciation Society, or Preservation Society. That's a comic that's been in print since 1937. And I thought that maybe Desperate Dan, he's a Western cowboy, and that he might have a villain called the Black Spider. But unfortunately, I turned up nothing online. Oh, and Desperate Dan was published in a comic called Dandy. So I thought this was possibly a reference to either of those, Desperate Dan or the Dandy comic, but I could not find anything. And for a comic that's been around for 90 plus years, it has a almost non-existent web presence. I couldn't really find much information about who Desperate Dan's villains were. Was there somebody named the Black Spider? So if anybody out there is a Desperate Dan fan and has information, let us know who the Black Spider was, because I'd also like to see what the Black Spider's outfit looked like. That might have been an inspiration for this really nice...
Finished training for the day? Time to fight post-workout fatigue with Core Power Protein Shakes. They're packed with 26 grams of high-quality protein to build muscle and electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to help your body replenish, rebuild, and repair post-workout so you can power on to the next one. Champion your recovery with Core Power. Visit corepower.com to learn more.
With new, gentler scented Clorox disinfecting wipes, clean finally smells as good as it feels. On everything from lamps to ceiling fans. Even on your kid's toy shark. Oh, ouch. Clorox disinfecting wipes. Now available in... Ooh, crisp lemon. Find it on Amazon. Clorox. Clean feels good.
Could he have been talking about Dan Dare?
Oh, it could be.
But I don't find anything relating to
Who's Dan
a
Dare?
Black Spider. He's a British comic book character.
Okay.
That, but how old is he though? He first appeared in 1950.
Okay, so maybe he has a... We'll have to...
But I couldn't find... Just a quick look while you're talking about it, I couldn't find anything specific to a Black Spider.
Okay, so we'll have to do more research unless anybody can...
I didn't even catch that part. I didn't notice
Yeah,
it
when
at
he's
all.
all looking up at her in awe, he says, "You're like the Black Spider." And Dan's
But there's
always
no
having trouble.
character Dan in the movie,
Right.
That he could be talking about.
So
And
I
he
think
says
he's
her,
talking about-
not them. So that's weird.
Yeah. So, which leads me to one of the things that I think was good about this movie is most of the design. Not only her outfit, I thought the spaceship was really well done, especially for 1954 with the swirling wheel and the sparks and the extending legs.
Yeah.
And I thought the inside of the spaceship was pretty well done. That was another thing that I thought was kind of reminiscent of Vampire Planet, but it also kind of reminded me of the inside of the TARDIS.
Okay.
And this predates Doctor Who by almost a decade. But I thought the robot design sucked.
The robot's
The
not good.
robot is super
And
weak.
what is the robot's name? Something weird?
Yeah, I can't remember.
I
But
think I wrote a note about that, but
I mean,
I don't have my notes on
in
me.
this robot, he's no Robbie the robot.
No.
He's not even Electro the robot, who was an actual real robot that Westinghouse had built by 1939.
Yeah.
So if you could build an actual real robot that looked better than this costume, this guy in a costume, the arms don't move, it's really quite bad. So yes, that's one mark in the against column for this movie being good. Another thing that was interesting about this movie is it starts off being one kind of movie and then changes to being another kind of movie. Mm-hmm. And as my friend, I believe it's my friend Henry Wright said about Barton Fink, that movie starts out being very much one kind of movie. And then when he slaps the fly, it becomes a very different kind of movie.
Yes.
And it might have been interesting to see how the first movie would have ended.
I think Roger Ebert wanted to know how the original movie ended.
Right.
Too.
And this is a similar kind of thing. It was also interesting. I found out this was based on a stage play. And the thing
Is it? Okay. Because as I watched it, I thought this could be a play.
Yeah, that it mostly takes place inside the bar of an inn, and you have all these characters coming in, and they have backstories, and they're in and out. And yeah, it could very much be a stage play, and you wouldn't necessarily need... There was enough potential drama there without the aliens showing up. Which leads me to my other observations. Why is it, and when did it start? Maybe this is too big of a question for this one movie. The idea that aliens have to be emotionless as a cliche, you know... Obviously, Spock and the Vulcans are perhaps the pinnacle of this. But even so, just the idea that aliens can grow and be sentient and be physically nearly identical to us, but somehow in their process of evolution, they lost or never gained the idea of emotion and they're robotic. And I think this has something to do probably with fears about technology being emotionless and driving us to this future state, and I'm sure somebody's written a dissertation on this theme already. But that's one of the kind of alien that we have here.
Okay, the robot's name is Chani.
Okay.
But I heard Johnny, and I was just like, Johnny? What?
Johnny Robot.
Chani, according to Wikipedia, is the robot's name, which makes a little more sense.
So any thoughts on that idea that aliens have to be emotionless and where that may have come from first?
No.
Okay.
Well, it could just be that they're aliens, so we can't comprehend their emotions. They have different not just emotions, but different motivations than we do. I think it's just a way of making them seem alien and not like us.
So as we speak, I might be actually being persuaded that this is not a bad movie. But I do.
This is the second time I've seen it, and I
watched it through twice.
I picked it. I put it on the list, having seen it already.
Okay. I watched it through twice, and then I rewatched that Dan and the Black Spider bit several times to try to figure out what the hell he was saying. But one other thing that made me think that, well, I'll do one other bad thing about it, though. Mm-hmm. Some of the writing is not the best, but particularly the ending, where everything's been resolved, and so they laugh about it.
Yeah.
Even though they've just seen two of their friends die.
Yeah.
Like any of the stakes, any of the tension is just thrown out the window.
They don't do a freeze frame, though, right?
It's almost that bad. It's like, oh, well, let's have another drink. There's also a lot of drinking in this.
I would really like to do a stage production of this.
Okay.
If only just to make some costume or build that outfit.
Can I be the robot?
Sure. Does he ever come in the house, though?
Oh, I can't remember. But you could fix that.
The other way you can tell it is a play, though. Even though they do show us outside, there is a lot of looking out the window and describing what's going on, which you would do on stage.
Sure. Yeah. And the going in and out of the end. Well, another thing about this movie being bad in the bad column is it kind of drags towards the end. Once the stakes have been established, one of you has to die, or one of you gets to live and the others die. And there's going back and forth and there's an artificial time frame. The ship will be repaired in 4 hours. They drag that whole sequence out of who's going to go longer than it needs to be, who's going to survive and who's going to die, and try to do a little switcheroo on us. But one reason why I did really like this movie is because I think even if it did not have a direct connection to Rocky Horror, this is definitely one of the kinds of films that inspired Rocky Horror. And I did look it up. Richard O'Brien would have been 12 years old in 1954 when this movie came out.
Yeah.
So if he didn't see it first run, he most likely would have seen it in a late night double feature picture show. There are several common elements that are not unique to this film that would have had an influence. I've noticed that some people who don't think Rocky Horror is a good movie don't realize what it is it's spoofing.
Okay.
That it's many things, but it is a parody.
Yeah.
And it is spoofing movies like this.
Right.
And so some of the conventions that might seem cliched are intentional, like the car breaking down in the middle, going in the rain, going into a small house with a bunch of weird characters. But the particular thing that struck me as being most sort of Rocky Horror-ish, that Rocky Horror's poking fun at, is in Rocky Horror, there's a famous line where Dr. Scott says, "So this sonic transducer, it is some sort of, I suppose it is some sort of audio vibratory physiomolecular transport device."
Yeah.
And in this film, somebody actually uses the phrase "a perpetual motion chain reactor beam." Okay.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff that Rocky Horror is spoofing.
Yeah.
And it might have been directly from this movie, but if not,
Yeah.
definitely from the movies that this is part of.
I mean, is Scary Movie funny if you haven't seen Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer,
Right.
and all that kind of stuff? Probably not.
If you don't know what a white coder is, you don't know why there's a criminologist in Rocky Horror.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. Okay, so that was kind of my take, and I may have to watch this again, but I might be moving into this as actually a good movie.
I enjoy it. I like the different characters. We do get a love stories. I always talk about them working on Movie Time.
Yeah,
they fall in love really fast because they're working on Movie Time, but they are in overdrive Movie Time.
Yeah,
in this one, like at one, maybe two conversations, and that woman says she loves the reporter.
Right. Well, and she also has pretty strong feelings for the escaped convict as well. When
that's a different.
No, but she meets the escaped convict as well, and I think she has feelings for him too.
Okay, because there's already somebody else that has feelings for him.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of feelings going around in this house.
She's full of feelings. It's the booze.
Yeah, there is also a lot of booze. I did think that there's a plot line where the master of the house and his wife are having some debate over how much drinking he should be doing in the bar. Mm-hmm. And it's unclear, and this never gets resolved, but it's some of the backstory that would have been in a good play. Is she just being mean, or is he really an alcoholic?
Right.
And not knowing the whole story, we don't know.
It's a little hard to.
It's hard to tell. He is also Scottish.
He never acts drunk.
That's true.
So he can hold his liquor, or he's really not getting that much.
Well, and the part about there being a lot of drinking in this is also something from a play, and not often covered to have some stage business. In plays, when people are just talking to each other, a lot of time they're mixing drinks.
Yeah.
And you see that in films of this period as well, just to have some business.
So I didn't bother checking these actors, checking their nationality, but this is a United Kingdom production. But it seems to me that the reporter, the convict, Doris, they all seem American.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah.
And I was just rewatching Wolfman, which I do almost every year around this time. And there are a lot of Americans in that little British village in the Wolfman.
Well, and Panchito is supposed to be Scottish, but I don't think he's doing a Scottish accent.
Right.
I think he's doing a British in English.
The professor and the couple that run the inn seem Scottish.
Yes, but nobody else.
And that's it.
Well, the model's up from London, so she...
Right. But doesn't she also sound American?
She does. She could be an American model. It's not clear where from.
Right.
But
Judas Priest. Okay, anything else?
I think that's my list. The fact that I put this much effort into it is really suggesting that this is a good movie. I mean, I didn't put this much effort into Mars Needs Moms.
Okay. Yeah. Oh.
Yes.
They reused a score from something called Saber of London TV series for the film.
Oh, okay.
To save time and money.
Oh, and she also, the queen, or the devil girl from Mars, her costume might have somewhat of an influence on Rocky Horror. Plus, she has this paralyzer beam prop that she holds in her hand that has these 3 prongs on it, which could also have been an influence on the Trident gun that Riff Raff uses.
But that's also because of the painting that he has a Trident gun.
Yes, that is also true.
Because of the pitchfork.
Yeah.
Okay, here's something else from Wikipedia that's, I don't know. Let's see. The alien Klaatu posing as Mr. Carpenter in The Day the Earth Stood Still was intended by screenwriter Edward H. North to evoke Jesus Christ. And there are indications that the Martian woman Naya was intended to evoke an anti-Virgin Mary image. I mean,
yeah,
it's not not an anti-Virgin Mary image.
That's maybe a
but
stretch.
that's a pretty broad.
Yeah. It's also potentially a sexy nun outfit. She
Yeah,
is wearing
that
a
is-
headpiece.
yeah.
You know, and she has a long cloak.
She has a like a skull cap kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's just like a random paragraph in the middle of this Wikipedia article. So I don't know.
you know.
They're not quoting any specific article about.
Well, you know, Wikipedia is only as good as your average schmo. Sometimes your average schmo knows a lot.
The sound
Sometimes they
editor.
don't.
The sound editor was Gary Anderson, from Thunderbirds fame.
Oh, nice.
So
Well, that ship had a little bit of a Thunderbirds feel to it as well.
Yeah.
The spaceship.
well, Pretentious D, what are you gonna rate Devil Girl from Mars?
I was going into this thinking it would be like 2.5 flying saucers, but I'm thinking I'm moving it up to 3.
Yeah.
3 flying saucers.
I'm giving it a 3. It was
Yeah.
okay, and I wouldn't mind watching it again. Yeah. And yeah, I would love to direct a stage production of this.
Yeah, this could be fun.
There you go, folks. If you haven't seen it, it is on Tubi.
Yes.
So free with ads. So there you go. Yeah, watch it. I liked it. Watch it. Well, that's going to do it for today. Thanks for joining me, Delano. We'll be back with another one of these tomorrow. Until then, I have been Precious D. My guest has been Delano Pretentious D. Lopez. Remember to keep watching the skies. We won't see you, but you will hear us next time on Monster Movie Fun Time Go. You've been listening to Monster Movie Fun Time Go. If you enjoyed the show, please consider rating and reviewing us on your podcasting platform of choice. You can leave us a message and find links to all our things at mmftg.com.